Have you ever noticed this about yourself? You can be around people, you can talk, you can laugh, you can even care, but somehow you still feel far away. Like there's an invisible glass wall between you and everyone else. You're present, but not fully there. You listen, but something inside you stays guarded. And when the moment ends, when everyone goes home, you feel relieved. Not because you hate people, not because you don't care, but because being emotionally close feels exhausting. If this sounds like you, let me say this first. You're not cold, you're not broken, and you're not emotionally empty. There are real psychological reasons why emotional distance develops, and once you understand them, your entire story starts to make sense. Let's talk about it. Emotional distance isn't the absence of feeling. This is important. Emotionally distant people are often deep feelers. They notice everything. Tone changes, energy shifts, unspoken tension. They just don't show it the way others expect. From the outside, people might describe you as hard to read, closed off, reserved, independent. But inside, your mind never shuts up. Your emotions don't disappear. They just stay contained. And that containment didn't happen by accident. It was learned. Most emotional distance begins quietly, not with one big trauma, not always with abuse. Often, it starts with subtle emotional lessons. Moments like being told to calm down instead of being comforted, feeling ignored when you needed reassurance, learning that your emotions made people uncomfortable, realizing it was safer to handle things alone. So your brain adapted. It learned a simple rule: feel privately, function publicly. You stopped reaching outward and started going inward. Not because you wanted to, because it worked. Emotional distance is a protection, not a flaw. This is something most people get wrong. Emotional distance isn't rejection, it's self-protection. At some point, closeness felt unsafe. Maybe people disappointed you. Maybe they left. Maybe they misunderstood you. Maybe they invalidated your feelings. So your mind did what it always does when something hurts. It adjusted. It said, if I stay a little distant, I won't get hurt as deeply. And it was right. The problem is, what protects you can also isolate you. You learn to be self-sufficient too early. Emotionally distant people often grew up emotionally mature too fast. You didn't get the luxury of falling apart. You learned to self-soothe, self-regulate, solve problems alone, stay composed under pressure. People praised you for it. You're so strong, you're so mature, you handle things so well. What they didn't see was the cost. You stopped expecting others to show up emotionally. And when you stop expecting it, you stop reaching for it. You feel more comfortable observing than participating. Have you noticed this? In groups, you often sit back. You listen more than you speak. You watch how people interact. You read between the lines. You notice dynamics others miss. This isn't social anxiety. It's emotional distance mixed with awareness. You learn that staying observant keeps you safe, because when you understand people, they have less power to hurt you. Small talk feels empty to you. Surface conversations drain you. How was your day? What do you do? Crazy weather, right? You respond politely. But inside, you feel nothing. Not because you're arrogant, but because your mind craves depth. You want to talk about what people fear, what shapes them, what they hide, what gives life meaning. When connection stays shallow, you don't. You think, you reflect, you replay moments in your head. You make sense of emotions privately. This makes others think you're detached, but you're not detached. You're internal. You feel deeply, just quietly. Vulnerability feels exposing, not relieving. For many people, opening up feels freeing. For you, it feels risky. Not because you don't want closeness, but because vulnerability once led to disappointment. So now, Your nervous system stays alert. Even when you want to open up, your body hesitates. Your mind asks, is this safe? Will I regret this? Will this be used against me? That pause creates distance. You've been misunderstood more than you've been known. This matters. When people misunderstand your intentions, your silence, your independence, it teaches you not to explain yourself anymore. You stop trying to correct assumptions. You let people think what they want. Not because you don't care, but because explaining yourself feels exhausting. Emotional distance can feel like loneliness and relief. This is the contradiction. You sometimes crave closeness, but when it comes, you pull back. You feel lonely, but also peaceful. You miss connection, but also protect your space. This inner conflict is common. It doesn't mean you're incapable of love. It means your system values safety over intensity. You connect best in quiet, unforced moments. Deep down, you do want connection, just not the loud kind. You connect best when there's no pressure. Conversations flow naturally. Silence is allowed. There's no need to perform. That's why you bond slowly. But when you do bond, it's real. Emotional distance is often a sign of high emotional intelligence. Here's something rarely said. People who feel emotionally distant are often emotionally intelligent. They understand emotions so well that they learned how powerful they are. So they handle them carefully. They don't spill everything everywhere. They don't confuse intensity with intimacy. They choose depth over exposure. You're not missing emotion, you're containing it. This distinction matters. You're not numb. You're regulated. You're not cold. You're cautious. You're not disconnected. You're selective. There's a difference. Healing doesn't mean becoming overly open. This is important. Healing doesn't mean forcing yourself to be emotionally expressive. It doesn't mean oversharing. It doesn't mean becoming someone you're not. It means learning that safe connection exists, that not everyone will hurt you, that not every bond ends badly, and that you don't have to earn closeness by being useful, strong, or quiet. You can let people in slowly. You don't need to tear down your walls overnight. You just need doors, small ones. Let someone see one real thought, one honest emotion, one unfiltered moment, and notice what happens. If they respect it, your system learns something new. If they don't, you step back. That's not failure, that's discernment. Emotional distance isn't who you are, it's how you survived. This is the truth. You adapted to your environment. You learned what worked,